In the month of May, I want to read 40 books, and I'm going to tell you how. What's up, friends? It's Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka J&D, and welcome back to another video. Wow, I haven't said that in such a long time. I'm a little sicky, so ignore my throat. She's doing weird things. Also, for any of you wondering why I'm reading so much in May, no reason. Not at all. I'm just doing this crazy thing. Technically, in my last vlog, I did catch up to my reading goal. I'm just one book behind currently on my Goodreads goal. So why 40? I will tell you why. The reason why it is 40 books is because I plan on reading the entire series of Yona of the Dawn. Ooh, I'm so excited. This is literally one of my favorite manga series out there. I have read, last time I did a read through, I think I read up to volume 26. There are currently 39 volumes available of this manga, so I want to do a whole reading vlog reading Yona of the Dawn. It is literally one of the best manga series out there. If you like romance, if you like fantasy, if you like action, it's like literally everything you could ever want, you know, from any story. Political intrigue, the characters are all so fascinating. Yes, I will be utilizing my library and reading the entirety of that series because I can't believe there's like 10 more volumes after I stopped reading it that just kept coming out, and so I need to do a whole reread because I'm like, what's going on? It started to get really serious in the politics when I got to, I think the last volume that I read, they were talking about people's parents and why they were making the decisions they were making. A lot was happening. Basically, Yona of the Dawn, if you don't know, is a manga, also has an anime that's available that has 2 seasons, but it does not do the story justice. The story is, Yona is a kind of stuck-up princess. She has flowing red hair like her mom used to. Her mom did pass away, and her dad rules the country. He is the emperor, and he kind of treats her like, you know, a little pretty princess. So she doesn't really know how to take care of herself, and she's more worried about her romantic endeavors. She's like, I'm 16, I need to look for my husband, da 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 da. Let's just say the man she loves, or supposedly loves, goes and murders her dad to become emperor, and then tries to assassinate her, fails, and then she, Yona, and her bodyguard Hawk, literally my only fictional boyfriend, fictional crush ever, Hawk, oh, he's just amazing. He is everything. Basically, he's guarding Yona with his life, and she's realizing, damn, I really don't know how to take care of myself, because now we're out in the woods having to hunt, having to fight off armies of men who are trying to kill me. And she grows so much, and she starts to care for her kingdom and learn how her people are being treated. And then there is this kind of prophecy that if she finds the 4 magical dragons of said country, that she will, you know, live a prosperous life and like bring the kingdom back together, yada yada yada. So she goes and finds these guys. They come together and they're a ragtag team of people fighting off many wars. Oh, it gives me so much joy because the tension, oh, so good. And I guess that's maybe why I stopped reading, because I was getting to the part where I was like, yes, yes, and then things were getting political and I was like, no, no. So I thought it'd be fun to do a whole reading vlog about that. Again, comment down below, are you into mangas or not? I can make a whole video about all the manga series that I have loved and the ones that I haven't loved. Let me know if you want to see that. So that is like 39 of the books that I want to read. But do I have more books for you? Yes, I do. You knew I would have unrealistic goals. So am I trying to actually read more than 40 books? Yes. Yes, I am. I know I'm crazy, but what can you do? Next on the TBR is An Ember in the Ashes. I really want to finally finish this series. I have read An Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, and A Reaper at the Gates. This one made me cry. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very tough read. But I have not ever read A Sky Beyond the Storm, so it's time. It's finally time to cry a good cry. Let's see, the tagline for this is, who will survive the storm? I already know characters have died and didn't even make it out of A Reaper at the Gates, so I'm actually in the middle of vlogging this, so I've already finished my reread of An Ember in the Ashes. So good. This is such a good series. Like, I feel like more people need to talk about this when they recommend, like, for readers who are trying to get back into reading. This series is so good. Again, like everything I literally said about Yellow of the Dawn, we have a love triangle that's a little bit shady, but you know what? Aren't love triangles always? We have political intrigue. Also, there's fantasy, djinn. There's a lot happening here. There's just a lot happening. We are following Laia, who is a slave in the Empire. Well, actually, she didn't start off a slave. She started off just a quiet, shy girl who kept her head down and was hoping the Empire would just let her live her life and not be enslaved and not be murdered for breaking the laws, like reading, trying to educate others. That's a no-go for the Empire. They want these scholars, which is whose Laia's people are, to just stay quiet and do their job and occasionally get executed for no good. But her brother decides to defy the Empire and learn about Sarek steel and sword making, weapon making, and he gets caught and then he gets thrown in prison. And Laia has to now spy for the resistance to try and save her brother, and she's not good at it. You know why? Because she spent her whole life with her head down, and now her head's up and she's getting her ass beat. And it's the saddest thing. I forgot how truly sad this book is. And then on the flip side, we are following Elias, who is a soldier in the Empire, one of the top elite soldiers, a mask. He is a assassin basically, but he is planning on deserting because he hates the Empire. He doesn't want to kill people. He's tired of it. He kind of gets stuck. Let's just say that. I'll leave it there. It's a sad time, but I love it. And the romance. Sabatir is perfect at layering in just all these little clues about what's gonna happen in the future and these magical elements, what's happening with the djinn, do our characters have magic, like how is magic used in this world, and every single chapter ends in a cliffhanger. So if you have a lot of anxiety about that, maybe not the series for you. But if you are like me and you're like, I need to know what happens next, it will encourage you to keep reading. So it's a very good book because of that reason, because there's just constantly things happening. There are no deadbeat chapters. There's not a moment when you're like, whatever. Every single chapter, every single page, something is happening and you're just like, what? You know what I mean? It's just, oh, it's a lot for your little heart. Lastly, I have some smaller, this isn't small, I have some smaller books that I want to read for a vlog. So I have Life for Sale, and these are books I've mentioned before in recent book hauls because these were recent book purchases. So this is Life for Sale. This is about a man who was, you know, working a 9-to-5 job, and then I guess he gets really bored of life and tries to commit, you know what I mean, and it's unsuccessful, so he decides to quit his job and now just sells his life, like in a newspaper, like a little clipping that says, if you need anything done, I'm your man, basically. And he gets hired to do all this wacky stuff. So it sounds very, very trippy and interesting. I've already read, like, let's see, the bookmark is in here. So I've read 20 pages of it. It's so trippy, and I kind of want to keep reading it. I feel like it's a very good page turner because it's very short chapters and very just obscure random things. Like there was a visual of him being on the train and he's kind of tired of working, and then all of a sudden his newspaper like turns into a bunch of cockroaches and he's just like, whoa. Just like, it's trippy. So I'm really looking forward to actually reading it. Next I have Kim Young, born at 1982. I'm very excited to read this. I know this is a really popular fiction novel, obviously a bestseller, and I'm just really excited to kind of finally see what everyone's loving about it. I did just talk about this in a recent haul, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, I just know it is a South Korean sensation and I can't wait to dive into it, especially for like Asian Readathon this month. Obviously that is the theme of my reading choices this month. And then lastly we have Heaven, which is also a book that I recently hauled, which seems to be about two kids who are being bullied, but they kind of meet at the perfect time and befriend each other. And the first chapter is the sweetest little thing of the kids like passing notes to each other and being like, do you want to be my friend? Oh, it just sounds very cute. It sounds like it's gonna be a little bit like Perks of Being a Wallflower, so I am very scared for these characters. I'm like, please, please, I want you to live a good life. So excited to read this story. I really don't know where any of these stories could possibly go. Like I'm going in blind to all three of these and I'm actually very excited about it. And then lastly, if you didn't think I was crazy enough, I also have Jade City. I have the audiobook for it. I did DNF it actually at the 200-page mark. I think when I picked it up last year, I just wasn't in the mood for any mafia shenanigans. Now I think I'm in the mood for it, and if I manage to finish All the Ember and the Ashes and Yona of the Dawn and all these small stories, I might give this book a second go, which is kind of like I'm really excited for actually. So we'll see. But yeah, that is way too many books. Am I right? That's probably way too many books. I'm gonna try my best. We're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna be diligent. I'm gonna try and read like at least 100 or so pages a day. I'm thinking maybe that's what I'll do for Jade City. Is like, oh, let's read 100 pages a day. And that might be the vlog. And attempting to actually finish this big book. I also we love paperbacks. Okay, that's it for the TBR for May for Asian Readathon. If you stayed to the end of this vlog, I have an interview that just came out on a little digital magazine. I'm gonna link that below. Check it out. I talk about my struggles being an actor, with being diabetic and dyslexic and all those fun things, and my biggest advice for actors and creators out there. So I highly recommend you check out the link below. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!